All right, so new week, BTC sitting currently at 121k. It also tapped 123k. The breakout that we expected actually happened. So if I get rid of all of these levels, hide, 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 we had a pretty solid breakout. If you remember last week, we talked about price tapping these highs, and if we manage to hold above these highs, we would send higher, because this would signal a breakout of this 7-week composite. If I go into ExoCharts and I bring up my weekly TPO, you can clearly see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks overlapping. So this formed for us a 7-week composite. Let me merge them all together. All right, this 7-week composite actually was our do or die level. So this 7-week value area high sitting at 108, let's say around 108, 109, was our do or die level. We also had some levels like previous month value area high, previous quarter value area high sitting right here. So all along previous week we were bullish on a whole above these levels, because it would initially be the start of the trend, the start of the expansion. And as it seems, that was it. So we held above, started like breaking out, and then we actually did hold the trend for a long time, as it seems. We topped our all-time highs first, and then we held above our all-time highs and sent even higher. So this is like price discovery at its best, at its peak. And the only thing we can do is like trade continuation. We've done a session about this. I also uploaded it on Twitter, on X, so everyone knows how to trade continuation. And if you notice, all the patterns that I mentioned are playing out nicely. So let's analyze PA going into here. First of all, sweep, internal sweep into previous month value high was our first initial long. We held structure, started breaking out, as well right here into the 7-week value high, and the first initial move happened, the impulsive move. Afterwards, we formed like a small range. From the small range right here, we took out the lows. This is like a pretty common pattern. After an impulsive move, we take out the lows and continue the trend into like a huge ass gap of the impulsive move. A pretty common PA pattern as well. So if we open up also VWAPs, actually we will cover it later, we just push through over and over and over. This pattern played out all the times here. Again, sweep of the lows into low hold in a slow grind, pump. Again here, sweep of the lows into low hold in the slow grind, pump. And the longest weekend chop that we had was actually similar. We formed a 2-day composite here. We took out the initial low, the internal low. We held the initial low, sorry. this was like into a gap right here. If we go into another chart like BTC USDT perpetuals, here you will notice there is a gap. Where is it? Yeah, here there's a gap. So yeah, these Coinbase wicks can be really annoying sometimes. So here we have a clean POI for longs. We held the structure, held the lows, baited shorts, and then slow grind started happening above our levels. So let's go back into here. Do I have the 2D composite? No. So pretty clean PA as well. We started holding above value right here. We actually took out some lows, similar pattern, started grinding higher and higher, and the next impulsive move started happening. So what about now? Let me get rid of all of these things. We're currently into like some sort of if I open up like the extension based on Fibonacci of this move right here. Come on. So we're sitting into like 1618. This could be a solid point for a reversal or a small range to form. So what am I expecting now? To form like a range between 120 and 125. We form a range here from a higher time frame perspective. Always we form a range here. If we manage to get first a sweep of the highs and then a sweep of the lows, this is a pretty good continuation setup as well, and we'll continue higher. But if we manage to get some sort of distribution pattern, like sweep the lows, then sweep the highs, then start breaking lower, this is a clean distribution to me, and I will be looking to sort this whole thing down towards 108 and maybe even lower. 108 will be our point where we'll see the reaction and decide if we are going long or short again, if we manage to get down here. On lower time frame, let me get rid of this. On lower time frame, we have some levels of interest. For example, the initial pump order block. Then for shorts, this could be a pretty solid setup, like a sweep of the high. Maybe also here we have some absorption or divergence of delta. So my POI for longs is around 119 to 120. One POI for longs sitting right here. POI for shorts, I would be looking for 122k. 122k, maybe get some sort of internal sweep into a POI right here. This could be a pretty good play, honestly. Let's take a look also into our VWAPs. So going into our VWAPs, let's start off with the quarterly, actually the yearly. Let me bring up the yearly. Okay, not much to update on the yearly. We're trending above value high, so not much to update. Let me bring up quarterly as well. Still similar, trending above. It could be a nice play if we manage to get a range here for longs into our POI, aligning with developing value high. This could be a nice play because longs here into developing value high is showing us a strong trend, so it could potentially send higher. acceptance below, and of course we're getting a retrace lower towards VWAP at least. Let's go into the monthly. Similarly, the monthly, we're trending above value high, not much to mention about it. Similar play I have in mind is former range right here, and look for longs into maybe the retest of this POI, also into developing value area high. Now, the most important for now will be the weekly. Developing value opening up above the previous can be a short-term bullish bearish signal, sorry. I mean for a tap of the previous value down here. So if we're getting a reversal, I would expect a tap of previous week value high at least before any upside. Else we keep sending higher and higher, but statistically when value opens up above or below the previous first few days or so, we're getting like a retest, so price could come back into these levels before going higher or before actually moving to the direction it wants. What else? Let me go through TPO as well. On the weekly, there's not much to mention, just that we have some single prints here into the developing, expand. So yeah, not much to mention. Let's go into daily. So into daily, we have like a 2-day, or maybe we could make it also 3-day. A 3-day composite sitting right here. So it is sitting between 118.3 to 117. If we manage to get down here, retests of the highs. Here we also have some poor lows as well. Retest of the highs could be a good long. Not much to mention here as well. It's just a trend. There is not much to update when we're into trend, right? So yeah. Let's go also into economic events. We have CPI coming into tomorrow on Tuesday. Then we have PPI coming in on Wednesday. Then we have on Thursday unemployment claims and retail sales. So yeah, we have a lot of news coming up. I saw a post somewhere on Twitter that on CPI news we actually form like a pivot. So this pivot could be top, who knows. If I find it, I will send it in the group, the post. Also on here we don't have something. Okay, so the CPI is the most important event that we're having. Let's also give a quick outlook on lower time frame. On Ethereum actually. Ethereum is sitting at 3K. It's going great. If you remember this, I've deleted everything. This was like a cool value that was formed here. So if you remember, we talked about price accepting above the value. Right here, one setup would be a deviation. Let me make this like this one. So as soon as we started grinding higher and higher, this was set to like breakout. So yeah, price action wise, I think we might be forming like a range here as well. I mean, a break of structure here, and I will be looking for shorts towards the lows. Else, if it keeps on trending above here, holding the lows, it will probably send higher. Market wise, I think if we get a range on BTC, we can probably see a run on alts and on Ethereum. I don't know. We'll see. But most probably we'll get a range on BTC sooner or later, around these levels. If not, we just keep on longing. So that was it, boys. Let me know if you have any questions.